put it on the YouTube channel, and you can have it for anytime you want it. So come sit up nice and tall.
Are you girl going to be here too?
Let me mute you guys all. All right. You know, this is a time of year that we come to consciously appreciate what we have. It's called gratitude, right? And in every tradition I've ever studied, gratitude is an important thing. It's said that in some traditions, that gratitude is so high that it encompasses everything else. It makes you more humble. It makes you more generous. It does all these things calm you just by thinking about all the things that you're grateful for. There's a saying that says that if you only say one prayer in your life, let it be, thank you. Just say thank you. So let's sit up nice and tall, shoulder blades up and back. Close your eyes and notice your breath. Just letting somebody in. Now I want you to think of something really big and general that you're grateful for. Maybe being grateful for your breath, that you can breathe in and out. That this life breath that we have, that we've been given, is a gift. It is a gift. I said this before. Scientists can put body parts together, but they can't make it breathe. It's that divine spark in you that makes you you, that we can say to ourselves, thank you. And on our mats, we acknowledge that in this breath, in this divine spark, we find our superpowers, our gifts. It's called our adhikaras, the things that we're strongest at. And each of us has that. So take a few more big, full breaths, committing yourself to this rhythm, to this expansiveness, to this little mantra that's so big. Thank you. And then slowly open your eyes, extend your arms out to T, big T. As a matter of fact, take your arms back, flex your wrists, and take your arms all the way back, lifting your heart. It's gratitude makes us this big. And then as you exhale, you're going to give yourself a hug, lift your elbows up, and then extend your arms all the way out wide. Yeah, Susie, give yourself a hug. Like you would, somebody precious, because that's what you are. Good. And then inhale all the way up. It's also good for your shoulders. Flex your wrist back, open your heart. Oh, and give yourself a hug. Lift your elbows. And once again, open up. And then give yourself a hug. This time you're going to lift up your elbows and start to tip the top of your pelvis forward, getting a nice stretch in your low back, drawing your belly back. And then inhale all the way up, extend your arms out. Now imagine you're squeezing something in your palms. Keep your arm bones back. And you're gonna roll those things back and up and back and up. We take so much for granted. I don't know what I was talking about. I was talking about something about, everybody can do something. Everybody can do this, some exercises that I do. Now start to lift your arms and roll. Keep your arm bones back. And my husband said, it looks really hard, these things that we do. We don't even take it for granted. Look how lucky we are. Now you're going to take your knuckles together so that your palms are away from each other. Take your outer arm bones back, lift your heart, and then as you exhale, press, 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 as if there's resistance. We're pressing the Maya, the stuff that makes us forget our own divinity. Inhale, take your right hand to the floor and exhale over to the right. Keep your left hip grounded. Inhale back to center and exhale to the left. Really reach. And inhale to center. One more time, right and left. So really get that length. And all the way over to the left. Nice. And inhale back to center. Lift your heart and find your twist. I go to the right first. Take your left hand to your right knee. So you want to really coax your left ribs to the right. Lift your heart. Inhale back to center. Big inhale. Exhale the other way. Yeah, oh yeah. And now we're going to start cooking things up. All the way back to center. And make your way to table pose, hands and knees. And keep your blocks nearby. Mine are so old, I still have my kids' teeth marks in it. I love that. And make your way into cat and cow. Good. Make sure your fingertips are grounded so they can really draw your belly back. Look how you can flex and extend your spine. Good. Keep your toes tucked under. And then make circles with your hips. Yeah, big circles with your hips. So I'm going to be here a little bit and then take your hips the other way. Good. Now extend your right leg back behind you. Lift your belly, lift your leg as high as the right hip, and extend your left arm forward. And notice how steady you are. But you're lifting the belly and the pelvic floor up, up, up into your body. Lift your heart and take a few breaths here. Nice. And release. Now extend your left leg back behind you. Your right arm up, lift your heart. And you're going to take a few breaths here. And you're going to think, oh, I've done this a million times. I can do this. And it's really awesome because for sure you can. In your own way. So now we're going to come back for table and take our block. You're going to put it under your left knee and shin. I hope you can see that. It's under your left knee and shin. And extend your right leg back behind you, lifting your belly. Now you can come onto the fingertips of your left hand, or if you're really steady on your block, you can lift your left arm up, but lift your belly and notice how much more difficult it is. But see if you can find your breath. What you're doing now is creating neural pathways in your brain and strengthening your core. Always a 2 in yoga. Maybe even a thank you here. And release. Good. Now we're going to do the other side, and it will be different. So you're going to take your block under your right knee and shin, and extend your left leg back. Now you can stay on the tiptoes, the tips of your right hand, and lift the belly, and just see where you get. Or you can extend your right arm forward and find some balance here. But keep your breath calm with that sense of gratitude. Look how lucky we are. Nice. And beautiful release. Keep your blocks nearby, you know we're going to use them. Extend your right leg directly out to the right, pressing your right foot down. Walk your hands back and circle your arms all the way up. Inhale. Then exhale your right hand down your right leg. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the left, either on your block or on the floor or just hovering. But see if you can find an edge there. Then inhale using your core, come all the way up. Exhale to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale to the left. Oh, yeah. Inhale. Let's do it one more time. Finding the rhythm of your breath. And staying present, so you can do it as edgy as you can. Nice. And all the way to center. So for all of our hips, you're going to dip forward, taking your inner thigh bones back, belly lifts. And then you're going to take your hands to the floor. Curl your back, left toes under, check out your left foot. And then roll your inner thigh bones back, taking your left hip back and softening your heart. Close your eyes and think of somebody who's close to you that you love. Bring them into your mind and say, thank you. Nice. Then come all the way back up to center and step your right foot just outside your right hand. Pressing your right foot down. Circle your arms all the way up. Bend your right elbow, tapping your right shoulder. And then you're going to take your left hand to your right elbow, drawing the elbow towards your ear and down. And then lift your heart, lift your chest. And now come deep into that space. Lift your heart, but bring your right shin forward, getting a nice stretch in your hips. Big breath. You just also have to draw the energy to the midline so you don't fall over. And then inhale back to center, extend your arms up. Sometimes falling over is part of the practice. Exhale your left hand to the floor and open it up. So keep your left ribs rolling to the right, your left ribs lifted and lean back. Remember your breath? Now press your right foot down and come all the way up. Oh, Barbara's got to come back in. And bring your palms together to your heart center and make your way into a twist, taking your left elbow outside your right knee. Good. Open it up, open it up. Good. Oh, yeah. Lean back, lean back. Yeah. And take your hands back to the floor and make your way into a lunge. So that's just lifting in the back left knee. So lift your left thigh bone up and down. Lift and lower. Good. Then step your left foot slightly forward and out to the left. And you're going to start to lengthen both your legs long. So you're going to grow them long, getting a nice stretch in the hammies. There's lots of ways to do this, and we're going to probably do it some more, always. But find your breath. See if you can release your chest. Notice any tension in your upper body. See if you can just let it go. We have that power to choose. Then step into your right foot. Lift your left leg all the way up. Lift the belly and soften your torso. Exhale, step your left foot beside your right, forward fold. Ooh, yeah. Inhale, take your hands up your shins and reach your heart forward. Your inner thigh bones reach back, but your heart reaches forward. And then exhale and fold. Then inhale, circle your arms all the way up. Exhale, palms together to your heart center and release. Now you're going to take your right elbow back. You can keep your left hand on your left hip or just beside you. Lift the right elbow so it's almost in line with your right shoulder and draw it back. Back, back, back. Susie, back. Right, you want, yes. You want to feel the scapula hugging the spine. Good. Now, as you exhale, you're going to twist to your left and fold. And then inhale all the way back. So there's no doubt the shoulder blade comes toward the spine. And then continue just like that. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Imagine you're pulling up something heavy and you're drawing it back, and you can even twist to the right. 3 more times. Exhale. Exhale. Last one. Exhale. All the way up. and release. Nice. Take a breath to really enjoy the right shoulder back. This is where I always want you to be. And now you're going to take your left elbow up and back. Lift your heart. Ready? Exhale to the right. Inhale, pull something up, take the elbow back. Exhale. Now you can even twist with it. Exhale, as long as the elbow draws all the way back. Three more times. Good. 3, 2, and 1. All the way back. And release. This is how I want you to be standing in Tadasana, mountain pose. Keeping the shoulder blades back. Inhale, circle your arms up. Big full breath. Exhale and fold forward. Inhale, look halfway up. Exhale, step back to plank with your knees either up or down. But no matter how you have your knees, it's the belly that lifts and the heart softens. Reach your heart forward. Find a little space here. Good. And then slowly either lower your knees, your chest. Good. Take your hands beside your upper ribs so the shoulder blades are hugging the spine, just like we just did. And make your way into a cobra. Just feel what it feels like. Just get into your back. Good. Make your way back through table. Curl your toes under. Take your hips back. And lift the belly, lift your knees, letting your knees kind of just hover, hover, hover. Good. Keeping the belly back. Start to lengthen your legs long and walk your dog. Back into down dog. Good. Good. And lower your knees back to the floor. Good. Extend your left leg directly out to the left. Walk your hands back and circle your arms all the way up. So your left foot's directly out to the left. Lift your heart. Exhale to your left. Oh yeah. Inhale to center. Exhale to the right. Maybe on a block. That's part of what we need them for. Inhale to center. Exhale to the left. Oh. Inhale to center. Exhale to the right. Good. Let's do one more. Well, let me do this. And then we're going to do one more on each side. Mindful and breath, full of breath. Good. Inhale to center, lift your heart. And start to tip forward from the top of the pelvis. Take your hips back. Really reach your hips back and lift the belly. And then take your hands to the floor. Check out your back right toes. Make sure you're on the tiptoes of your back foot. And then roll your inner thigh bones back. Take your hips back and lower your heart. So my neighbors sent over hot cinnamon rolls, frosted cinnamon rolls this morning. So I'm going to say, oh, I'm so grateful for my neighbors, which I am anyway. Do you have lovely neighbors? Put them in your heart and say thank you. Good. Oh, yummy. And then come all the way back to center. Step your left foot just outside your left hand. And circle your arms all the way up. Yeah. Take your left hand and tap the back of your left shoulder. This is a wake up. Here I am. Lift your heart. Now you're going to take your right hand and tap your left elbow and take your elbow towards your ear and down your back and lift your heart. And now come deep Take your shin forward, lift your heart, shin forward, lift, lift, lift. Oh yeah. Ah, inhale back to center. Exhale your right hand to the floor and your left arm all the way out to the left. Opening up your heart, leaning back. Good, so it's a big twist. Your right ribs rolling to the left. Now pressing your left foot down. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, palms together. And take your right elbow outside your left thigh bone. Taking your thigh bone out and leaning back. Oh yeah, big breath. Big gratitude. Look what you can do. You're here, how wise. Exhale, gaze down, take your hands to the floor. Make your way into the lunge by lifting your back knee. Good. And then step your right foot forward and wide, lengthening both legs long. Look at the core. Lift your belly back. We're going to work on that, of course, always, but every pose engages the pelvic floor. Some remind us. So when you lift the pelvic floor and draw your belly back, just notice how that feels. Good. Step into your left foot. Lift your right leg all the way up. Lift your heart and soften. Good. Step your right foot beside your left, forward fold. Inhale, circle your arms all the way up and bring your palms together. Now we're going to come into Utkatasana, Fierce Warrior. Now I want you to have your blocks nearby and you're going to take them just outside to the outer edges of your mat. But when you look down, they look like this. That's how I want them laid down. Good. Now bend your knees, and we're going to play in Utkatasana just for a little while. I want you to take your palms back and up behind you. Lift your heart. And let's start first on our tiptoes. Our brains have something called neuroplasticity. And when we do things that are different, when we balance, we're actually reshaping our brain in a very good way. This helps us, obviously. Hope it is. Not good. Now take your heels to the floor, circle your arms up. Now take your arms back, step into your left foot, and see if you can step your right foot back. See if it's kind of scary. And you're going to come up. Good. Now take your hands to your hips, tip forward, and step your right foot forward beside your left and back to Utkatasana. Get ready? Step forward, step into your right foot, and step your left foot back. And so you can come all the way up. Crescent lunge. Good. Now you're going to play with it. You can keep your arms up or out or to your hands. Step into your right foot and step your left foot forward. Utkatasana. Now play in it. Step your right foot back and lift. Step your right foot forward and lift. Step your left foot back. And notice if it gets a little easier as you try it. Yeah, and all the way up. Now fold forward. Now I want you to take your hands to your blocks. Your thumbs are going to be on the inside, your fingertips on the outside. Now, Ina, I don't know you. I've never seen your body. I have one student who's a very tiny lady. If you can't grab the blocks, just figure it out. But if you can grab it and squeeze, it'll strengthen your shoulders. Good. Squeeze the block if you can. Inhale, look halfway up. Now exhale, step back to plank. Good. Notice all that height you have here. Your heart's soft, the belly's lifted. Now I want you to lower your knees and you're going to roll your thigh bones to the floor. Your blocks are just outside your upper ribs. Your shoulder blades are back. Inhale. Come all the way up into a cobra. Look at that. If you want to lift your knees, you can come up into up dog. Good. And then right into down dog. Good. Inhale to plank. Exhale to dog. This is for your core. Inhale to plank. Exhale, dog. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Oh, yeah. Inhale. Exhale. Last dog. Now, I want you to walk your feet, heel toe, your feet to your hands, and heel toe. You might not need to do so much to get there. Yeah. And circle your arms up without the block. Did you guys feel that? Good. Bring your palms together to your heart center. We're going to do that one more time. Notice how the shoulder blades are back. The belly's engaged. Inhale, circle your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Squeeze the block as you look halfway forward. Inhale. Exhale, step back to plank. Lift your belly. Lower. You might want to adjust your blocks a little further back. Inhale to cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. 3 times. Inhale to plank. Exhale, fire up your belly to dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale. Last time. Inhale. Exhale. Now, you can heel toe your feet forward or come onto your tiptoes, soften your knees. And imagine I have my hands on your outer hips. And maybe you can jump, lift your hips and jump your feet forward. Or you can heel toe your feet forward. Good. Inhale, look halfway up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, circle your arms all the way up. And bring your palms together to your heart center. And release. Good. Now keep your blocks. We're going to need them again, but just get rid of them for now. We don't need them for now. And now we're going to use the stuff we just connected to. I'm going to take off my shirt here. And we're going to use those pieces to come into a flow. Ready? Bend your knees deep. Inhale, Utkatasana, fierce warrior. Exhale, palms together. Twist to your right. Keep your left outer hip back and open your heart. Good. Inhale back to center. Exhale the other way. Oh yeah. Right hip back. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold forward. Uttanasana. Inhale, look halfway. Exhale, step back to plank. And take a half vinyasa, however you like to do it. But your hands are going to be further back. Your shoulders are going to be hugged together. And just notice how far back you get. Exhale right into down dog. Good. Inhale, lift your right leg up behind you. Come to the tiptoes of your left foot lift. Exhale, take your left heel back to the floor. Really feel the left heel to the floor. And step your right foot forward. Come into warrior one. Circling your arms all the way up. Yeah. Now, as you exhale, you're gonna take your outer arm bones back. Let me see. And pull heavy weights from the ceilings as you lengthen your legs long. Good. You could feel like Rosie the Riveter. You are that strong. And then as you inhale, you're gonna extend up and come deep. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Really feel your both feet pressing to the earth, the balls of both feet and the heels. Last one. Elbows back. Exhale now, warrior two. Just come into warrior two. Good. Stay low. Make sure your right toes are aiming directly out to the right. Now we want to get our left shoulder back. So as you exhale, you're going to take your left arm to the right. Inhale, elbow back and extend. Exhale. Look inside. Inhale. Thank you, right? Exhale. Even the people who are difficult in our life teach us something about ourselves. 2 more times. Exhale. Inhale. Oh, we're all that, right? Exhale your right forearm to your right thigh, pressing the forearm down so much that you lift the right ribs up and extend your left arm long. Stay low in the hips. So there's lots of stuff going on here, but there's no rush. Or as my girlfriend's daughter says, what's the rush, right? Good. Now, once you have all that connected, take your left hand to your left hip and just reach your hips back and start to lengthen both your legs long. Now, with the right ribs lifting up, maybe you can extend your arms into a T, but from the center of your chest out, you can extend both arms long, as if there's this light, a green light coming out of the center of your chest, extending both arms long. It's this really beautiful big space of gratitude. Keep your right ribs lifted until you make your way into your triangle pose. Nice. And then come all the way up to center. Oh, that was good. Pivot your feet parallel. Take your heels in and then make your way into a squat. A goddess pose. Now, I want you to check out your knees. Make sure your knees, if you're looking over them, are in line with your second toe. So I just don't want any of this stuff. You're gonna have just as much weight on the outer edges of your feet as the inner edges. Yeah, and lift them lower. Take your arms to T. Now you're gonna cross your arms and come forward. And then inhale. Here I am, right? Arm bones back. Exhale, cross the other arm over. Exhale, inhale. Oh yes, my whole self, right guys? Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Change arms, stay low. Inhale. Last one, stay low. Inhale. Now press your feet down and imagine you're hugging the mat in with your feet. They're stuck. You should feel in your ankles. And then stay low. Good. Lower, lower, maybe. Then come all the way up, pivoting your feet parallel. Fold forward. And you can take your hands to the mat. You might want to adjust your feet. Now, if you take your hands slightly forward, I like to come onto the tips of my fingers. Lift your heart forward, but your inner thigh bones reach back. So from the ribs up, you can feel the forward motion, but the inner thigh bones reach back, and maybe you can soften your heart. You should have a big space here, full of gratitude, full of acknowledging all of our gifts, which we could never acknowledge all of them. Good. Take one more big full inhale and exhale. And then walk your hands back to the front of your mat and step back to dog. Ooh, yeah. Inhale, lift your left leg up behind you. Come onto the tiptoes of your right foot. So really lift. You feel it all the whole back of your right leg. Exhale, your right heel back to the floor. And step your left foot forward, preparing for warrior one. Pressing your feet down, circle your arms up, gloriously up, outer arm bones back, scapulas hug to the spine, and then you find those weights in the ceiling. And then you exhale, pull them down and lengthen both legs. And then inhale, open-hearted. Exhale, right into the center. And then inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Good. Take 2 more just like that. Good. Lift your heart. Exhale right into warrior two. Good. Now you want your left toes directly forward. Check that out. Right. Now take your right arm that's behind you over to the left. Exhale, stay low. And then inhale your right elbow back. No. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Good. Keep the scapula hugging to the spine. Last time. Inhale. Good. Right. Scapula hugs together. Now take your left arm to your left thigh and extend, keeping the left ribs lifted and rolled forward. Stay low in your hips. Find that edge. Good. Take your right hand to your right hip. Take your bum back. And then start to lengthen your legs from the center of the pelvis as if you're growing them out all the way into the earth, and make your arms into a T. The left ribs are rolling forward and up. And then from the center of your heart, this light of gratitude opens you up so full, and you can dip and lift and dip and lift and dip. Good. Until you make your way into your triangle pose. Big full breath here. Nice. And then all the way up to center. Pivot your feet through parallel and take your heels in. And we're back in goddess pose. Good. So keep your knees bent and out. Your inner thigh bones roll out. Now you're going to take your arms in front of you and your elbows back, shoulder blades back. Ready? This is the inhale. You can feel the lungs expand, full of grace. And then exhale, tip forward, offering your gratitude to the universe. And then inhale. Thank you for the trees. Exhale, offering your gratitude. Inhale for this food we eat. Exhale, your gratitude. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Stay low. Inhale. Exhale. Stay low. And then take your hands to the floor. Pivot your feet parallel. So the outer edges of your feet are parallel. All your toes are aiming forward. And the belly's lifted. And once again, you can walk your hands forward and your hips back. And find your breath, find your rhythm. Good. Take your left hand to your right shin and coax your right shin in as your right foot slides isometrically wide, as if your 2 feet are stuck and widening the mat. We're going to hold the shin and pull it in. And maybe find a little twist looking under your right arm bone. Oh, yeah. This should get right into your hips, Cindy girl. In a good way, a safe way. And come back to center. Take your right hand to your left shin. Keep your feet pressing down, widening the mat. Hold the shin, coax the shin in as the feet widen the mat. And look under your left armpit. And find big, full inhales and exhales. I'm feeling the Shakti. And then walk your hands back to the front of your mat, which is over your left foot. Make your way back to your dog. And into a child pose. Yeah, widen your knees wide. Take your big toes together, your hips back, and lower right into the space. Maybe think about somebody in your life that's been a good teacher, a good example. Or maybe someone who's difficult, who's been a good teacher. And give them your thanks for all that you've learned. Because one of my teachers once said, I love this, at the end of our lives, we're either a warning or an example, right? That's one to write down. Okay, anyway. And come back to table. Oh yeah, good work, guys. Maybe some cats and cows, maybe some hip circles. But yeah. And now we're back to our blocks. Yay. Okay. So now you're going to take your block over towards the right of center of your mat. And you're going to step your left foot out to the left so that your left toes are aiming away from you. Now, your thumb is on the inside, remember? Your fingers are on the outside, and you're squeezing the block to really draw the energy up to the back of the shoulder blades as they hug together. Even your biceps and triceps getting a little tone here. And lift your right ribs. So option number one is to press and lift on the exhale. Lift the right ribs up into the exhale. Option number two is to take your right bottom leg and extend it long, coming onto the pinky side edge of that bottom right foot. And lift. And lift. Exhale. You can extend your left arm. You can roll your right ribs forward. You can take your left hand to your left hip. You play with it, but find a little pulse right into the outside of the right ribs. And you'll, if you put your hand there, you'll feel the muscles really connect. Five, four, three, two, one, and hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. And release. Make your way back through table. Good. Now, I want you to come onto your knees. Just come up all the way up. Extend your arms. Take your hands behind you. Lift your heart. Lift your chest. Oh, yeah. Now, if you want, you can even take your hips back and just kind of tap your forehead to the floor. This is a nice stretch in your low back. And all the way up. Oh, yeah. Now we're going to go on the left side. So now the block is just left of center of your mat. Thumbs on your thumbs on the inside, your fingerprints on the outside. Make sure your shoulder and your hand are in line. And you're going to step your top right foot forward and the toes away from you. Squeeze the block so the shoulder blades are hugged and roll your left ribs forward and lift them up. And if you stay right here, it's awesome saucing. So the left shoulder really is rolled back and you lift from the left ribs up. Exhale, exhale. Now, if you want to go deeper, you can extend your bottom left leg and lift and lift. And play with your top right arm, however you choose, depending on your right shoulder. But notice how this block gives you more space to see maybe a different picture, to give you more movement. Moving with the breath. Let's take a few more here. Five, four, three, two, one. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Hold it. And release. And I don't mean collapse, I mean release. And remove your block. You're going to need it, so keep it beside you. Come on to your left hip and swing your legs forward. Oh, good work. Draw your knees to your chest. Give yourself a hug around your back. And reconnect with your breath if you have disconnected from her. Maybe even that little mantra, which is so big. You know, I even thank my space when I'm done. Thank you. Okay, doesn't make it right, it works for me. Okay, so we're gonna grab a block once again and take the block in between your thighs. Squeeze the block until you feel the pelvic floor lift and the low belly engage. Take your hands to your shins, round your back, and we're going to take about 5 exhales. So you exhale through your mouth to draw the belly back. And you're going to keep drawing the belly back and back and back because the inhale comes from your upper ribs. Okay? Give it a go. Ready? I'm going to do 5 breaths. Perfect. Now take your hands behind you, keeping the belly back and the block really squeezed. You're going to exhale, lift, inhale, and tap. You don't even have to tap. You can just kind of hover. Or you can take your whole foot back to the floor. Good. Squeeze the block. Oh, yeah. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. See if you can hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. And release. Good. Now you're going to come to lying on your back. Keeping whatever you have in between your thighs and squeezed. You might want to walk your feet back towards your hips and walk your scapula together. You know what that feels like to have the heart lifted. So that, as a matter of fact, take the scapula back and take a big inhale. I want you to feel what a big breath of freedom feels like. Yes. Good. Now, keep your upper arm bones, your humerus bones, the upper arm bones, press down. Imagine you're pulling something down from the ceiling and you're going to lift your hips. Very simple, really. But you want to lift your hips, squeeze the block, and lower and hover. Exhale. So, you know, with every exhale, there's an inhale. You have to remember to squeeze the block. That's good for your adductors too. Good. Let's take a few more here. How about 6 more? 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now little pulses up. Squeeze in the block and squeeze in your bum. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See if you can hold it and squeeze. I want you to really remember this. And then slowly roll your spine back to the floor. Good. Remove your block. And draw your knees to your chest. And roll your knees away from one another. Good. Good. Now see if you can roll on your spine back and forth. This is so good. Put a little massage up your back. And all the way to seated. Good. Now extend your legs nice and wide. Oh yeah, this should feel really lovely about now. I like to lift my hips and slide a little bit more forward and I get a little bit more width. Now, check it out. Your knees are aiming up to the ceiling. So if I put a happy face on your kneecap, it would be looking up, and so do your toes. I'd like you to flex your feet and widen your toes. Your heels have got to stay grounded to protect your knee. So the heels are grounded, right? Yeah. Circle your arms all the way up, lift. Big inhale. Now you're going to dip forward. Again, no rounded backs. The scapula is hugging together. Your heart's open. So the forwardness comes from those hip flexors, right? And you take your hands to the floor, close your eyes, and notice your breath. Good. Now press your thigh bones down, press them down. And use that power to come all the way up. Oh yeah. Now you're going to bend your right knee and take the sole of your right foot high up into your left thigh. Good. Take your left thigh bone out to the left. Square your heart forward. Circle your arms up and tip over to your left. And see if you can take the left elbow back and the left ribs forward. So I have to let somebody in. She must have lost her connection. Okay, that's my girl. Good. Hi, Rhonda. Take your left ribs forward and see if you can go a little bit deeper. Good. Extend your right arm out to the right, first in line with your right shoulder. And then you're going to reach through your first two fingers as if you're trying to grow them longer. Stay low so the left ribs are lifted, and then lean back. Find a breath here. Good. Then bend your right elbow. And notice when I bend my right elbow, I take my right thumb down so that rolls my arm and the arm side. And then I'm going to take my knuckles behind me towards my left waist and open everything up. So my left foot flexes, my left thigh bone rounds, and I open it up to the grace and the gifts that are in front of us. How lucky are we? I feel so grateful to be with you today. Press your thigh bones down and come all the way back up. Good. And we're going to change sides. So now you're going to take your right leg all the way out to the right, the sole of your left heel high up into your right inner thigh. Twist your torso so that it's forward. Flex your right knee. Not flex your knee. Flex your right ankle. But make sure your right kneecap aims up to the ceiling, right? Good. Both thigh bones press down and the pelvic floor lifts as you circle your arms all the way up. Big inhale. Now you're going to dip over to the right and take your right forearm inside the right thigh bone, reaching the right ribs forward and extending your left arm in line with your left shoulder if it's available. And then lean back. Oh yeah. And then you're going to reach out to your first two fingers of your left hand as if you're trying to grow them longer. You should feel that in your left shoulder. And just experience it. So not only is the left shoulder toned, but you're lengthening the whole left side of your body, which is your spine. Well, your spine's not inside of your body, but when you do this, you're lengthening your spine. Good. Now roll your left thumb down, so that's your whole arm. Bend your left elbow and take your left arm behind you. And lean back. Keep the left shoulder back. Keep your heart open, find that edginess. Maybe a smile. But definitely breathe big and full. Oh, yum. Press both thigh bones down to come all the way up. Oh, yeah. And shake it out. Take your knees to your chest. And for the last time, you're going to round your back, coming all the way to the earth. And take your knees to your chest. Step your left foot to the floor, cross your right ankle, opening up your right hip. And then take your left knee towards you. Maybe you'll grab the back of your left thigh, or you'll grab your left shin, or you'll lift your chest, drawing the top of the pelvis back. Any phase of this pose is the pose. So it doesn't matter what you do. You do what you need to do. Then flex your feet and widen the toes. And take a beautiful big breath here. Good. Then take your arms to T. You're going to twist to your left so that your right foot lands on the floor. Identify your left hand. Identify it. And you're going to grab your right ankle that's on the left side of your body and anchor it down. Press it down. Then roll your shoulder girdle to the right. You should get a nice big twist here. Extend your right arm to the ceiling and take the right arm bone back, the right armpit back. And then you can extend your right arm over your head. Keep your right thigh bone pressing away from your chest. Open to this great moment. Thank you for this great moment. Hmm. And then come back to center. Good. Take your left ankle over your right thigh, opening up the left hip. Check in with your breath. And then take your right knee towards you. And you know what to grab. It's going to be the back of your thigh or your right shin and your torso. Your chest can be lifted as long as the belly is back or not. It's all really good. Just close your eyes and find your breath, whatever you need to do. Take your arms to T and twist to your right. So now your right hand is going to grab your left ankle and draw it down to the floor. Roll your shoulder girdle to the left. Extend your left arm up and the left armpit back. And extend all the way up over your head. Take a full breath here. Keep your left thigh bone reaching away from you. Lift your heart. And then listen inside for what comes from the inside. Because when you have that little quiet mantra, that little prayer, thank you, it will resonate within, it will come in these moments of quiet. And release. Make your way back to center. Take your feet to the floor. Lift your bum and roll your bum forward as you come back to the floor, getting a nice release. Walk your shoulder blades together, lifting your heart. Take your arms with your palms up wide of your hips. Inhale through your nose and exhale right into Shavasana. And take a nice rest. I'll wake you up in a few minutes. See if you can allow every muscle in your body to release, become like dead weight into the earth. And maybe that mantra repeating again. Thank you. Thank you. Start rolling your wrists and your ankles. Inhale, extend your arms up over your head. Exhale through your mouth, a big. Draw your knees to your chest and roll to your right side, experiencing, looking inside, experiencing the feelings you feel right now. It's in you all the time, this quiet, this peace. Then make your way to a seat on your mat and bring your palms together to your heart center. When you bring yourself to the grace of gratitude and see joy and all our gifts, it will always lift you up. Always, always. Come back to that. The light in me honors that light in you. Namaste.